Well, hope everybody's doing well. Welcome to another night of the Virtual Cantina. We are
Howdy.
finishing our series of Star Wars actors and other properties tonight, and we have a twofer, two Star Wars actors in one property to finish up. And our special guest tonight is our very good friend, the host of Alderaan Idol 2022, Mr. Kevin Thompson. Kevin, how are you?
I'm doing very well. Doing great. Beautiful
Awesome.
day out here today in Southern California.
Absolutely.
And just hope everybody else is doing well.
We are doing well. We're doing well. Once again, I'm your host tonight. I'm Spencer. I'm along first with Jefe. How are you doing there, Jeff?
Doing great. Good Thursday
Awesome.
to you. Good to see you guys.
And
It's
also,
SHIT day.
yes. And
Sure
then,
happy it's Thursday.
Exactly.
and then we have Dave. What's going on, Dave?
Hi guys, doing well, having a good night. Excited for this movie. It's been a long time since I've watched.
I was just telling Dave, I was telling Jeff earlier, I don't even recall when or if I've ever seen this movie. So I'm kind of like,
What?
yeah. But Jeff was like, well, I can't recall if I ever saw Galaxy Quest. It's like, I can't remember I saw Galaxy Quest. I know that one.
At a point in time, I thought I hadn't seen Galaxy Quest, and I had. But
Yes.
that's different than not seeing never seeing Blade Runner.
Well, Galaxy Quest, Blade Runner, like they're one and the same.
Yeah, because you can
Two sides of the same
interchange.
coin.
You can interchange Tim Allen with Harrison Ford.
Yeah. It has it has one of our favorite actors, favorite bad guys of all time, not playing a bad guy.
Well, there you go. So before we get started with a little stuff about Blade Runner tonight, first, a word from our sponsors.
Celebration, Star Wars Celebration fan group hosted by Virtual Cantina.
Yes. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. We got some graphics coming up, which I'm very excited about. So once again, you're with us. We have the speaker series coming up, which starts next week of season 2, starting next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on the Virtual Cantina webpage. We have Tim Donaldson joining us. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you don't know Tim played a Jawa in A New Hope or Star Wars for you old school fans. It's always the Star Wars. Just saying that.
The Star Wars.
The Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Next, we have Dave.
Are you up? It's on.
Oh,
It's,
I know that.
we're getting lag.
It's slow. On Thursday, the 11th, we have Nick Malley returning to the Virtual Cantina to discuss the actual Mos Eisley Cantina this time. Last time in season 1, he gave a great talk about Yoda in Empire Strikes Back, and now he's going to come back to talk about the Cantina, which is pretty snazzy. Pretty stoked about that.
A lot of characters.
Yes. And then
In lag, it's there. You can talk about Thursday, November 18th.
oh, okay. And then Thursday, November 18th, we're going to be joined by C. Angelson, who is a visual effects artist for ILM, did a lot of work in the prequels, and played Vader in the special edition re-release. Well, that's a lot of words. Re-release of original Star Wars trilogy. There we go.
And did he do mocap for some video games and stuff too, as Vader?
I believe he did.
Excellent.
So yes, that's another good one.
Lots of great
All right.
content coming up.
Lag. It's there.
And then Tuesday, November 30th, we're going to be bringing in Craig Miller, who was the director of fan relations for Lucasfilm. So that's going to be pretty snazzy as well. Pretty excited about that, and to hear about how the publicity went and the first fan clubs and maybe even Celebration 1 with Dan. That would have been something that he probably would have worked on a little bit. So pretty excited about that.
Very sweet.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's pretty hella sweet.
Very sweet.
And then
And then
It's coming. I promise. I swear.
okay. And then finally in season 2, we're going to be ending on Wednesday, December the 1st with Paul Hirsch. Paul Hirsch is an Academy Award winning editor for the first movie. So he, and for Empire Strikes Back, he worked very closely with Marshall Lucas on it. So it's going to be absolutely pretty fantastic to hear what Paul has to say about the editing process of those movies.
it sure will.
Yeah, pretty snazzy.
And then we can check out, this is just a graphic showing now, a very sweet graphic that we like. Thank you, Jeff. Of the summary of the whole thing. You guys can check that out. This will be on the page. I think this was posted earlier today. I think it was.
Spencer posted it a few hours ago.
And so, you know, a real quick summary of all of those things. So lots of cool stuff coming out.
So we're very excited about this, and we're very happy to be able to facilitate all, of speaker series. Moving on.
And all of those are going to be, as you can see right here, they will be available hopefully live and definitely after the fact, as this video tonight will be available after the fact over on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/The Virtual Cantina Network. If you have not liked and subscribed, all of that, you should, because when we get to 900 subscribers, there will be a special fun prize for you.
Another giveaway.
Another giveaway. So do it. Just do it. Just do it.
Everybody who was previous subscribers are already going to be in that drawing. So
previous subscribers, yes. We're doing that for 900, though, so you have even better chances to subscribe all your new accounts and stuff. For 900, we are just doing the people that have joined since the re-release.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes, it's a special. So, more incentive to, if you are already a subscriber, go create a fake Gmail account and subscribe again so you get the new stuff. I didn't say it. Never did.
Good to clarify.
Yes. Let's see. Is there anything else we have?
Is it right there? Coming up on the watch-alongs, we will be having countdown to the Book of Boba Fett.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be sweet.
So starting November 17th, we are going to be watching Attack of the Clones. We're going to do the entire Fett arc leading up to the night before the launch of the book. Now, the trailer looked absolutely fantastic. We're excited about that. So you'll keep track with us. And on December the 2nd, we're actually going to be doing Return of the Jedi. So we might have a special guest come in. I mean, we might know somebody from that movie. I don't
Somebody
know.
who's hanging around.
Somebody?
Yeah. Someone hanging around the trees on Endor. I don't know. Maybe. Kevin, do you know anybody who does that?
Hang around the trees. I hang around the trees.
Okay. There you go.
I gotta trim some trees.
Maybe
Sometimes
when
I
we
have a house
watch
full of
Jedi,
trees.
you can hang
Yeah.
out.
When's Jedi?
It's first week of December, I believe.
You didn't invite me?
But you're welcome
Maybe
to.
this
We're doing it now.
the official
Oh.
invite.
Yes.
Okay.
And then on Monday we actually have
Going back to Endor is like, it's like going back home.
Exactly.
It's tough. You never know what's out there. It's
absolutely.
Endor.
It's like Ewok, eat Ewok, or eat Stormtrooper world, I should say.
Zach, no, we don't eat other Ewoks. No,
Yeah,
we find
that's why I
what's out
corrected.
there. We have a big old barbecue, so if any of those Stormtrooper boys, girls, whatever, want to come on over, we'll have a big old barbecue.
That sounds like a good plan. On
Like
this coming
we're
Monday,
Murder bearers.
we have a very special show celebrating autographs hosted by our very own Frank in association with Star Wars Autograph News. He's going to be talking about celebrating autographs for Celebration, which is going to be very awesome.
How is he doing?
He's doing very well, thank you. He's tired. He's a little bit sore.
What,
but he's
did he get hurt much?
not a tremendous amount. He's just very
More
very
shaking.
informative.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
On May 25th, 2022, we have the Boonta Eve Cantina, which is our third annual Boonta Eve Cantina, which will be at Biggs, not Dark Saber or Lightsaber or whatever his last name is, but Biggs with 1G in Fullerton, which is about 10 minutes from the Anaheim Convention Center. And we're very excited because tonight we are going to be joined, as you mentioned before, by the host of Alderaan Idol, Mr. Kevin Thompson. So you can come there. Yep. Come there, come see Kevin.
You'll pay me not to sing, is what you want to do.
Kevin's going to be joined by our friends Dominic Pace from Mandalorian and someone who Kevin is very familiar with from the Ewok Adventures, Mr. Eric Walker. So we're going to have the first time around this area that we'll have a dual shot with Kevin and with Eric, which will be absolutely incredible. Very, very excited that both of them are going to be part of this event with us.
Very
and
cool.
then
Lag. It's there.
lag. It's there. Okay, no problem. Just waiting.
Promise.
The Boonta Eve Store, which is absolutely open right now. You can get T-shirts, you can get pins, you can get posters. It's available at BoontaEveCantina.square.site. Packages are going to start shipping about a month before celebration. We're going to have limited stock available at Boonta Eve, so make sure that you pre-order your shirts, your posters, or anything of that nature, so you can come to the event. But also, we have a very special shirt that is for celebration. If you are a big fan of our shirt for the family vacation back in March, we have a new one that's coming out called Punch It Chewie. It has the Falcon on it, and it's available for order for only until the 13th of December. Mark and Joanna will be putting up a link again a little bit later on. It's
The
available.
link is right here on the page, and we will include it in the comments on the YouTube and eventually on the Facebook. It's right there.
Yes. So if you want to order it, it's a one and done. We're not going to do a second printing. So if you're interested in it, it's going to be limited edition and all that jazz.
We'll do a swell group photo at celebration, I'm sure.
Yeah, and send it to me.
There we go. Well, you'll be there. You'll be in it. You might
Yes.
not be life size, but you'll be in it.
Yes.
Hey, it's my size.
Gonna fight them?
So, first and foremost, I want to say that this last one came from an idea of a gentleman that we affectionately called the governor, Mr. John Notman, who is going to be hosting season 2 of the speaker series with Frank and I. So thank you, John. And he came to us when we were trying to figure out what our last movie of the new season would be. And he's like, let's do Blade Runner and let's bring back Kevin because everybody loves Kevin. So Kevin, thank you very much for coming to us for something non-Star
Very
Wars. Very cool. So you're saying?
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, so how did the audition process go for this particular movie?
On this one, I first started I was just at a friend's house and he got the call and they said, do you want to work in this street on a new movie we had both worked on, Under the Rainbow? And so we both didn't have any work right then. So we both started out as street extras. We thought on Under the Rainbow, we were treated very differently than a normal extra. And so this was downtown at it's call time 6 p.m. And so you got to get actually ready at 5 p.m. So your camera ready by the time the sun goes down. And I had never been in rain before, real studio rain. I'd never been really working on the street. I was accosted by a local street person who everybody thought was a extra, was a real street person. You could tell that because of the smell. And after that, I was just so freaking mad. I was so just this wasn't what I signed up for. And so I walked away from I hadn't seen my friend around. I was just by myself. Well, what have I got myself into? I'm cold, I'm wet, I'm tired. I'm on a movie. But he didn't know what it was. It was Harrison Ford was in it, but he wasn't coming up to me and saying anything. So I'm just really good. This guy comes up and goes, hey, in an English accent, he comes up and he says, hey, how you doing? And I said, does this guy really want to know how I'm doing? You know what? I'm going to let him know. So I let off. I just let him have it. And he goes, he just listened to me. And he said, have a drink. I mean, would you like a drink? And he had a little paper, like coffee cup, and gives me a drink. And I'm like, all right, I'll take a drink. And it was scotch. And I was like, wow, what just happened? Because scotch usually is not on the set. No, yeah, nobody has that. So I said, what do you do? He goes, I'm the director. He reaches out, Ridley. And I was like,
wow. Exactly.
So therefore, that's what the scotch is for. To toast Ridley.
That's a fantastic
story. So
I didn't.
That's how I got that's how the audition happened.
Nice.
I love scotch.
Very cool.
Cheers.
Scotch.
Yep.
I love scotch.
So that's the infamous Scott story. That was absolutely awesome. Thank you very much for telling us that, because that's a great way to sneak into this. Many of you know Ridley Scott, fantastic director, Alien, Gladiator. He's got that new movie coming out with Kylo Ren. That looks pretty good with those two guys from Good Will Hunting. I forget their names. But probably one of the best directors, I would say, out there. Very excited about that. I'm very excited in this movie. As mentioned before, it's available if you have a copy of it on HBO Max and on the Netflix. We are watching the final cut version because those are the two free versions that are available on those services. So sorry, Sherry, who rented it from the library. You're old school. I respect that.
And it is rated R. We have to remind people that.
Yes, it is rated R. Not that it's like the first rated R movie that we've watched in the cantina, but
no, just
what?
Just
rated R. Oh, my ears.
Rated R for rad, dude.
Totally. All right. So
repeat and rinse, or rinse and repeat.
Absolutely.
Rated RR.
So with that in mind, is everybody ready?
My Netflix is all queued up.
I'm surprised you're not using. I'm using Netflix too. I'm not using the HBO Max.
But I'm on the Max. That's where I am.
What are you watching?
Funny, my Max lags, but my Netflix doesn't.
It's weird how some services just don't work as well as others. I don't know. Or
you mean sort of like Disney Plus when it first launched. It lags like crazy. But anywho, let's start with the 10-second countdown. We're going to start in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Play.
oh, of course, now it's going to lag starting. There it goes. Whoops.
Oh, you better get that sound turned down before we're not on the YouTube, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but the thing is that we got kicked off.
I know, we're recording. We still got to keep it good so we can put it up.
It's funny when I was trying to cue it up earlier, I saw the top of the Lad Company logo. I was like, this movie has a crawl too.
A different type of crawl.
A little bit.
These were nice guys. You kept giving me work.
Absolutely.
That's always a good thing.
I haven't worked for them since.
There you go.
Rucker was a great guy. John was nice. You forget she was in Roger Rabbit.
She was also Einhorn in Ace Ventura.
Daryl Hannah, I just saw again. She's her sister works with a painted turtle, and is we Tracy and I do a lot of volunteer for the painted turtle, which is one of Paul Newman's seriously fun camps for seriously ill kids.
Oh, nice.
This was her first film too, I believe.
What was
So
this?
Mr. Notman is saying that make sure, don't spoil it for people, that Kevin has 4 parts in this movie. People should be looking for them all.
4 parts, and we drink every time I get on camera.
Sounds like a plan.
I think we'll be drinking more often than that, but yes.
There is a lot of credits at the beginning of this movie.
Well, you have to figure out this time frame.
Oh, there's the crawl.
They had a lot of. Oh, here's a crawl. I was kidding about that, but you think at this time period, a lot of the movies had extremely long openings, yeah. And it wasn't until like a movie like, I think one of the first ones was like Pirates of the Caribbean, The Black Pearl. That was one of the first that just had a title slide and then faded into the movie, and you didn't get anything else until later on. I think that's only like in the last 15 years they stopped doing that original.
Well, there was a movie called Star Wars that they decided they didn't want to have opening credits on.
I don't know what movie you're talking about.
You
What
know,
is this?
New Hope, I'm sorry,
Wars?
you millennial.
It was. I thought it was actually. Was it Empire that the Directors Guild fined George?
I think it
Empire
got
Strikes Back.
fined. I know they weren't happy with him originally on either movie, so he's never been in their favor. Look at that. That's what Elliot looks like right now.
Wow.
Is this not Demolition Man? Because that started the same way.
We don't have flying cars though.
Elon Musk. That was Elon Musk right there.
That's yeah, it was up to Elon. He'd be there.
Well, he wants that hole drilled. That the boring company. I don't know what they're doing, but anyways.
We're trying to make a highway to San Francisco.
So, Mr. Notman wants to know, Kevin, did you know any idea of the plot during production, or was this completely blind?
Completely blind, not until I actually got a part that they gave me a script. Because when I did the stunt, I didn't get a script. When I was doing the street extra work, I didn't get the script. When I finally got the part, they gave me a script. So that's halfway, 3/4 of the movie in. So I just was working. We're 20 years in the future, or it was 1980, so 40 years in the future.
Right.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
2019. Just like
2019.
a second ago.
Well, they made it 2019 because 2020 sounded like perfect vision. So 2019 just has a better ring to it.
Isn't it ironic now that people joke about it's like, hindsight's 2020, but we don't want to talk 2020?
We don't need to go back there.
We don't want to return to 2020. There's a lot of like people that were coming up in this movie, like this guy here, Leon.
Brian James.
Right. He went on to do a lot of stuff. I think he's still working. I don't know.
I think he passed away.
Oh, I think that's right too.
And I think Rutger just passed away. Saw him in New
Rutger
York
was in the last year.
Yeah.
Right.
That WinterCon that you guys did, didn't he?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Which is, they just announced the next one for January. Looks like a young Ray Liotta.
There is a lot of, for when this movie was made, a lot of just made technological props that like today would not look out of place.
You got to think, yeah, 40 years in advance, what's it going to be? And the set decorator he and his team did this whole big job on the street to make it look great. And then Ridley drives up and goes, "Hey, wow, this is great." They're already over budget. And he had done all this stuff and goes, "This is a great start." And got in the car and drove off.
Wow. Can you imagine what people would think that if they were doing a movie about the future now? Like
40 years from now.
Because
Would we be
like,
wearing masks?
like, would we actually have the flying cars like in Back to the Future 2? Like, I don't know.
I don't know if people
the
would be that optimistic about the future, what the future holds at this point. Is, you know, it's going to be Wall-E. More to that.
Could be.
I don't know.
A lot of these island countries are going to be underwater.
Yeah, but then some things they get, and some things are still very retro. As you've got the green on black computer screen, but that other could be totally a document camera. And
yeah. They have the big it looks like Times Square here.
Yeah,
we just didn't quite have it. Blimps just haven't been quite the advertising that we could. I'm in this scene. It's tough to try and find me. I think I'm on the left side. This was the scene where I'm going, this sucks. This is not what I signed up for. It's like 2 a.m. right now. I like the lights. We have these now, the lightsaber umbrellas.
Yes, that's a legit thing now.
Yeah.
So Mr. Donovan says that he believes that they blacked out the entire street scene on Burbank Studios with a black cloth to try to help with the. That's interesting.
Doing things practically is a lot different than
They wanted to keep it, quiet, just like they do now. But they were trying to get it. I'm off camera.
Mike says
I had a close up, but editing. Sheesh. Because I had, everything was about my performance in this scene. But they decided to go with story.
Damn them.
I know, like,
what's wrong with those people?
Eddie Olmos had just won the Tony for Zoot Suit.
Oh wow.
Right, coming off of that into this part.
Was that on that was on Broadway and off Broadway, or just on Broadway?
Right. It started I think it started here because it was about the LA,
right.
The 1940s
right.
LA Hispanic and Navy
Chicano scene. Yeah.
The Chicano scene.
He's had a fantastic career.
Yeah. He had a big old Super 8 with big reel, and he was walking around filming it all. I asked him at Comic-Con, I said, "Have you seen it?" He goes, "I got to find it in storage somewhere." It's like, man, people would just love to see that.
Oh yeah, behind the scenes.
Yeah, he's got to figure out where it is. He doesn't know where it is.
Buried somewhere.
40 years ago, buried somewhere.
This car is amazing.
Did you see the cables? Because in 1982, you saw the cables, or 82, you saw the cables.
Mm-hmm.
But now you digitize them out.
Oh yeah, I could do it in a snap now. I love that headgear that Almost is wearing.
It's like he's a Borg.
A very old style Snoopy cap looking thing.
Yeah,
it still has some like advanced elements on it.
I love how Gotham-y this looks. I'm sure this inspired Batman '89, which of course we just watched.
Oh yeah.
This had to inspire that.
Yeah, I'd like to find this building. in downtown? Or do you think it's in Century City?
There was only a few. Back then there was only a few large.
You know where this is?
This is Cal.
That's
Union Grand Central?
That's the
Love
train
Union
station.
Station. Yep.
Yeah, great.
That's
machines.
last time I was in that part of Union Station was for a pop-up arcade with 80s arcade games. Speaking of 80s.
Oh, neat.
It was fun.
They look like from outside the Capitol Records building.
That
kind
could
of
be, yeah.
Hollywood and
It
Vine.
did kind of look like the Capitol Records building. You're right.
Notman says it's a Nakatomi building.
Oh,
That's the one main building in Century City, like Kevin just mentioned. So
Yeah.
it's not quite close enough to Christmas for that.
Yes. We might have to watch the
close,
best Christmas movie ever with that. Dave's excited about that. He wants in on that one.
Last year on Christmas Day, I had to make a stop at Nakatomi Tower on my way through to my aunt's house for Christmas dinner.
As you should.
With my Santa hat on, I took a little selfie. There was no explosions or SWAT teams down bottom, but you know, it was fun.
No Alan Rickman looking people diving from the.
Bungee jumping off the top of the building.
Yes.
Could have been.
I need the old Blade Runner. He said it. He said it.
I
Gotta look
did.
at that.
Harrison got this haircut because he didn't want to wear a hat because he wore a hat in
Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones. So he got this, and that type of haircut right now was what was going on.
Kyle
It's
looks
funny,
like the Caesar
it works now.
that George Clooney made
Yep.
famous later on.
Sort of a Caesar.
Funny
style.
though, they've got mustaches going on. How many people really wear? I know it's November, but just a mustache.
Oh yeah,
Nobody wears.
That was a Tom Selleck thing back then.
Yeah.
big bushy.
Well,
one.
he's got the
He's got a little goat. Yeah. And he's got the
He's just
scrub.
unshaven,
Yeah,
but he's got the mustache.
right.
Well,
But
that's how you know they're police
mustaches.
officers.
Yeah, exactly. Cops with mustaches, just mustaches. It's like the Super Troopers look.
Cops and firemen.
Yep. Especially of this time frame.
I shaved my goatee off and had a mustache, and I looked like Flanders.
Ho, neighborino.
That's awesome. Jeff, has the song Go for Flanders?
Oh, put me on the spot. I can't think.
That happens.
I know.
So a question for you. Who played the part of J.F. Sebastian's Kaiser toy?
That was John Edward Allen, an English actor who come over here from England to work here. I had worked with him on Under the Rainbow and a few other projects. Then soon after this, he moved to New York, and then he has since, I think he passed away in the late 90s.
Funny you mentioned being in Under the Rainbow, because I had talked about we should watch that for Carrie, and they actually filmed that you were on my street when I was 10, 12 years old, however, whatever year it was. Van Buren Street in Culver City was the street they made into Culver Studios that came off of the Culver Hotel.
Right.
And that was the street I lived on as a kid. But I was lucky enough to be at my dad's house in Oregon when you guys were shooting that, so I didn't get to experience any of it. Otherwise, I might have some other stories to tell you.
Yeah, we had 150 little people walking down the street at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Nice. Yeah, I remember after the movie came out, the city gave Billy the key to the city. So I went to the ceremony when Billy got his key from Culver City to be after the move. It was like right next to the Culver Hotel where they did a little ceremony. I got his autograph.
Good guy, Billy.
Yeah. See, look at that Snoopy cap he's got. It's kind of futuristic, but it's got really old aesthetic.
Like the old Baron.
It's very like Pearl
World
Harbor.
War II, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. See, this is just the thing that they didn't get right about the future is everybody smoking cigarettes.
Should be vape pens.
Yes, there you go.
I never thought of the vape pens. Now here's a nice building that imagine being the architect of that one. Woo.
Some structures.
Looks like the not a Death Star, but a Empire destroyer.
Yeah, like
something on Coruscant.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very Egyptian like or
pyramid
type thing, Mesopotamian kind of deal.
What they did get right was that what Eddie almost was Gaff was saying was it was the street speak was a mixture of a bunch of different languages and the different nationalities that have come into the area. We don't quite have that, but it was neat that they brought that in.
So we had a question for you. Was Philip K. Dick ever on set?
I don't remember seeing him or meeting him. I think I think he did come on set and realized that Deckard was exactly Harrison was exactly the guy that Deckard was.
Oh, wow.
He actually exclaimed that Harrison was more of Deckard than what he wrote on the page.
Wow.
That's some good casting.
That is a high compliment.
That's amazing.
Which goes back to say, Harrison Ford has never been in a bad movie.
That's debatable. Anyways. Was 7 days and 7 nights? What was I don't know. Anyways.
Told you many times. That's a love story.
Movie is art, and everybody appreciates art differently.
Exactly. What one man's trash is another man's treasure.
Oh yeah, but
I don't want to go that extreme.
Same time. If we're talking about Ishtar,
Yeah.
that was just crap. That was like the Geely of the time.
It had Dick Tracy
and Ishtar
and The Graduate. No, it's just a bad movie.
I'm just watching and loving the cinematography of this. Is just so much the extreme close up to cut to another extreme close up, cut to another extreme close up. Is just very.
Jordan Chenoweth, the cinematographer, had been starting to get Parkinson's disease with this, and he would go from one setup to another, and he could barely walk, and he had an assistant camera man. His job basically was to carry the chair. It was a PA. It was part of the camera crew, and because Jordan would still think that he could still walk, but he would almost run. It's like when you're running downhill and so you don't fall, you keep running faster because you're going to fall forward. That's what he was doing, and he was leaning forward, and so the gravitational pull, and if he kept running, he could keep his balance, but then he would stop, and that cameraman or camera assistant better be right behind him with the chair because he was going back to sit down.
Oh wow!
And they would boom, be right there. It was amazing, and you never heard the man to complain at all. And it was you could just imagine how much pain he was in. So me being wet, I really felt after I saw him, it was like, what do I have to complain about?
Exactly. Parkinson's can be pretty devastating.
Yes.
My mother has Parkinson's, so I completely understand.
Yeah.
Good friend that has Parkinson's. It's devastating.
At the end of the movie he was in, it really got him really fast. And he was in a wheelchair in the very end.
Wow. Oh, so it like sort of crept up on him quickly. Ugh. Some of the effects in this are so far ahead. Even just that simple shade that came down when they were looking out at the sunset earlier. Some great stuff.
Yeah, and Mike commenting on the early like telltale eye glow in Rachel here.
Spoiler alert.
Was it purposeful? Was it not? Is it
No, it's very purposeful because it goes to show you, was there a little bit of a red tint in there?
Was there any do you have any good stories about Daryl Hannah or Rucker on the set?
They were great. You know, there was no Rucker still this is one of his favorite roles. And he was basically pretty much a newbie. Nobody really knew him. He had done a couple of smaller films, and he was you know, how many people really knew who Rucker was? But there was a small film that I think Ridley had seen him in as a bad guy. I can't think of it right now what it was, and that's what he liked, that performance.
It's always interesting to see that, you know, like a director or whatever will pick up on a specific thing that they feel will fit well for the role that they're trying to cast.
Right. So a lot of these, I mean, I think this was Daryl's first thing. Joanna had been in a few things, but we really, I mean, she was not really a big name. Emmett Walsh probably had a much, you know, big career, but as a character actor, he wasn't really driven as in, I'm going to go see that Emmett Walsh movie because, you know, nice guy. Heck of a guy. I worked with him later on Christmas with the Cranks, and last day of the set, he gave out silver dimes to everybody. It was such a neat little thing. It was just a neat little gift. He had just one of those, you know, an old bag of silver dimes, and he just gave it to every member of the crew.
Very cool.
Look, tube TVs.
CRTs, as it were. He's got a very Zoot Suity kind of look going in this.
Throw back a bottle of beer.
Zoot Suit Riot.
Mm-hmm. Whoever remembers in the comments is this movie feels like it was plucked from the far future and placed back in 1982.
Look, it's a guitar pick.
So one of them lizard people's scales.
Oh, the more there you go.
Some very cool neon in this movie. Look at Atari.
Product placement. There you go.
Only video game system that existed at the time.
How many people read a newspaper?
Keep newsprint around for any purpose.
Even photos. I mean, who would have thought that photos would not be really around anymore? Yeah, the only thing they don't have is nobody's on their phone.
Right, yeah. Not everybody's got like their own device and like in their face.
So Mr. Notman has a question for everyone. Anyone know the close link between Blade Runner and The Shining?
You want to get sued?
I do.
What? Shining?
Sorry, it's a Simpsons reference. I had to get Jeff laughing.
He's got the shin.
The very end, they used some unedited footage from The Shining in the ending of Blade Runner. Jonathan, is that what you're alluding to?
We'll see what he responds.
Of course, Kevin would know.
Absolutely. That's why we have Kevin, because we don't know anything. That's been proven from other watch alongs.
Just one of the
What?
reasons.
What are you talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Where's the, you know what,
We're
another thing, there's no
woefully
bird
prepared.
scooters.
Yeah, everybody's actually riding bicycles.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
riding bikes.
They're not
on the
electric
bird
bicycles
scooters.
or bird scooters.
I want to ride my bicycle.
Now, I do love how, and I think this is like a future trope from the 80s, everybody's incorporating Chinese culture into what's presumably the U.S. You know,
Right.
it's a major
Los
trope in
Angeles.
Firefly and a number of other places. Waterworld.
Oh, yeah, that's what he's saying. Joe
It's very much like
Turkel
Hong
played
Kong.
Tyrell,
Yeah,
and also the barman at the Overlook Hotel that Jack talks to in his delusions. That movie messed me up as a kid.
The book is fantastic, though.
Speaking in a foreign language.
James Hong, he's been working for so long. He's still amazing as everything he does, even in like Kung Fu Panda.
I worked with him on a project a while back, and everybody was trying to get him to say, I do eyes, and he wasn't going to say it at all. And then he finally, when nobody was expecting it, he does his rendition, and everybody just gave him an ovation. It was great.
I have to say, one of my favorite roles he ever did was the guy in the Chinese restaurant in Seinfeld, just because it's so, like true to life. Waiting for that table in real time. But this is amazing. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Some shoddy craftsmanship on that jacket.
No, it's just saying that they're super strong.
That's true.
This is true. That'd be nice to have one of those coats that's blowing warm air into you. That'd be nice. The cables would be tough, all that type of stuff, but other than that,
The idea is definitely cool.
right?
For warm.
Yeah.
Seinfeld fall. That's the line. Hot right. Sorry. Now I got Seinfeld stuck on my brain. After this, I'm gonna have to go down the Netflix rabbit hole into some Seinfeld.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
It stands up. I have to say, Seinfeld does stand up.
it was a good show, especially for its time. So Rutger is so young looking here, though, compared to what we've like when he was action star Rutger Hauer. You could already see that weather in his face.
We did Cloak and Dagger.
That was something that in Hitcher. He
Oh
was
yeah, Hitcher.
with C. Thomas Howell. He was one of the kids in E.T.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
One of the
wow.
buddies.
See Thomas Howell,
C. Thomas Howell.
Soul Man.
His dad was a big time.
That doesn't stand up quite the same.
No, that one didn't last.
You get
Because that
canceled
moves
for that.
PC.
That's
Not nowadays.
That's you can't do that on television right there.
This is downtown as well with this.
Yeah,
cool
this is that bridge, that tunnel underneath
3rd Street tunnel, I think.
3rd Street. Yeah.
Very iconic spot for filming stuff.
It looks like
Filmed a lot
Benny's.
downtown.
There's your
Were you in any of the
right there.
Bradbury scenes? No, you weren't in when they shot at the Bradbury.
That's where I'm at.
Oh, okay. That's like it's like a residence at that point, right?
Right.
It looks like Benny's cab from Demolition Man.
Oh, I thought it looked like a Tesla Cybertruck.
That was
Body
I mean
version.
from Total Recall, the original one.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Driver.
Johnny Cab.
Yeah.
Johnny Cab.
Well, he didn't take the Johnny Cab. He went with the actual human cab driver.
But then later he did and like rips the Johnny thing out.
Pulled it
Yeah.
out of the thing. Spoiler alert.
Whoops.
So the Teddy shot, was that the Bradbury building?
I think they're in it,
this
right?
isn't Bradbury Building yet.
No, not yet.
This is on set at probably Warner's. Nice coat though, but nobody wears those anymore.
Like a duster. Harrison's always had classic.
Sean Young's.
Oh, Sean. Well,
Harrison's
Harrison's
the fur.
Yeah.
Actually, that kind of look is coming back. I saw a kid at Car Riders this morning wearing a huge black fur hood, like thing. Coincidental. Everything old is new again.
Yeah. Cyclical.
I thought she kind of had that. It was kind of the '80s look with the shoulder pads, but then it's kind of a '40s look too.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So like a late.
Especially with her hairstyle. So
yeah,
Notman's asking again a question here about when you played Teddy, was that shot at the Bradbury building? Or
no, that was on lot. That was on the lot.
So it was set at in that same
the outside when when JF Sebastian and Chris walk in.
Okay, so we can hit more on that when we get to that point. But some of these sets are just so insane with those tiles.
So detailed.
Yeah, so much stuff going on.
I mean, it reminds me a lot of the detail. Is it Geiger, the alien inspired kind of look in the background, especially the cop car with the hoses and the.
Well, this is just after Alien, right? Alien was 80.
Yeah, it's where
So I'm sure there's some things that were, gleaned from that.
I don't know what exactly happened. I know he was very tough to work with. I didn't have a tough time with Ridley at all, but other crew members, Harrison had a very tough time with him. He was very demanding director, but the crew would really, like I said, I don't know why it was, but they had shirts made up that said Will Rogers never met Ridley Scott.
Oh,
because he never met a man he didn't like. That's crazy. It sort of reminds me of the issues that the British crew had with like George,
with the union breaks.
Yeah,
and all that stuff or whatever, they weren't used to working the same way, like bringing a British director over to work with, American union members might have been sort of the same kind of juxtaposition, and
it could have been
just rubbed them the wrong way for some reason.
They do different things different,
right.
The same thing different ways.
Right, exactly.
And I know that Ridley wanted to actually be behind the camera.
Oh,
yeah.
And so that may have been one of the things.
Right, is displacing somebody's duties. Oh, scotch.
And I think I just heard the same thing about in the new Movies That Made Us season, is they were talking about aliens and the transition and the difficulties that they had with the British crew, getting used to their style.
That might have been where I remembered that from more than George. It might have been from like that production.
Well, I've heard the same thing.
I mean, that was probably where it was fresh from in my mind, because I just watched that episode recently too.
But I do remember that some of the crew members on Star Wars who worked on Jedi did say it was one of the first times that they actually brought their children to the set to watch what was going on.
Mm.
And they really just to see this is what daddy does, this is what mommy does. And they were because they were having, I guess it was a very tough, at times they thought the money was going down the drain, but then maybe the crew knew something that we all did too, and the production didn't know.
Was that last scene a matte painting?
I know there were quite a few matte paintings. I was looking at the screen, so I didn't see it.
And
that's what, matte paintings were going on right now.
Yeah. Well, they did some amazing matte work for some of these movies, especially stuff like this, like that.
The thing is that look was very much 80s anyway. It's like she's like a fan of Flock of Seagulls of The Cure. Like that wasn't anything out of the ordinary.
Sometimes that happens when they style.
This is the Bradbury Building, right?
Where she's going.
And in fact, if you go to the Bradbury Building in downtown LA, it has a plaque dedicated to saying that Blade Runner was filmed here.
Nice. A buddy of mine contributed to a book about Blade Runner, and when he came to LA, one of his main things was to go visit the Bradbury Building and some of the other locations.
Oh yeah, Bryce, this is Back to the Future 2 was very, I think, taken from this. Absolutely.
This is Daryl.
Yeah.
Well, that outfit that guy has is very kind of similar to If's group, with that weird headgear and stuff.
It's Larry.
So this is what Daryl got Splash. What year was Splash?
This is right after this.
Right after this, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Did anybody see the Disney Plus edit of Splash?
No.
So when you're a kid and you're watching Splash, was the most recognizable scene the Statue of Liberty scene. Why? Reader nudity. Right. On Disney Plus, they lowered her hair.
Oh wow! Did like a Rapunzel on her.
Yes.
All right.
I think I'd heard about that.
April has Spencer internet. Her internet keeps on freezing and repeating.
Oh no.
And Mike has blotchy balls.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh, what was that all about?
Yeah.
We thought she was a nice girl.
Uh-oh.
She gave him that eyes of she has a boyfriend.
Yes. And
we need more.
First line of my career. This is in the Bradbury Building. All this is Bradbury Building.
Right. Yeah, this is very it's not usually filled with fog, but
not that or with spotlights.
Yeah, that too. League lights pointing at everything.
Just
and
such
water.
Amazing open.
The water.
I'm surprised they let them do something like that.
So much. But they usually when a crew comes in, then they got to clean it up and make sure that it was back
as
to especially union crew.
Better than it was when they got there.
Non-union crew coming in.
Right.
The union crew coming in, it's got to be better than it was
exactly
when they got there.
That's an amazing atrium in that building.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, the openness.
It's got like a skylight type thing going on in the middle of and then it's like sort of.
Now we're on set.
Okay.
Hum again. Jiggity Jake. Good evening, Jack. They speeded it up. Yeah, I know. What's funny about this is I did the bit, and then they gave it to John. But we're a mistake, is what it is. That whole thing is that we're a mistake in his, because he's a guy that designed all the.
Oh, right. So you're sort of like reject toys or misfit toys.
His own. Yeah, and here's to I got in the union on that.
Nice. And it's an iconic movie. I mean, that's
a great way to do it. I have everybody right, and a lot of people know that line.
Right.
And in fact, I got in the union earlier, but got my Taft-Hartley, which is the big to-do of getting it in. And my 3 months had been up. I had got it on a movie called Under the Rainbow by doing a stunt, but and I hadn't paid my dues yet. And the first AD comes in, or the second AD comes in and says, "Hey, you got to pay your dues, or else they're going to fine us." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, you got to go." And so I called the union. They said, "Yeah, you need to come down today and have $500 in a cashier's check or cash. Can I write you a check?" And they're like, "You're an actor." No.
And that's a lot of money back in '82.
So I had to go to the bank, take out, I had my lunchtime at that time. I went out to the bank, took out $500 from my account. I had to stand in line in my outfit. And go get I couldn't get down to SAG, so I put it in an envelope marked dues, Kevin Thompson, gave it to a Teamster driver on his rounds. He delivered it to SAG.
Nice.
That's great.
Would they even like offer to do that, or say, "Okay, I'll do that" nowadays?
It's a Teamster driver. You never know. It was always be kind to your Teamster drivers.
Yes.
Who runs Hollywood? Teamsters.
Yeah, they shut down.
If the Teamsters aren't running, nobody's running.
Exactly. Yep. You're not going anywhere without the Teamsters.
No.
I like this technology they have. He's zooming in and stuff.
Yeah, I love the. It's very iconic.
Voice control.
Yeah. So that wouldn't work. It's just the video lag.
The resolution is amazing on this stuff, though.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Dave?
There it is. Slow. And I love the choice of like the shape of the mirror in this is reminiscent of a Renaissance painting where you have that.
Yes.
The name escapes me at the moment, but you've got that reflection of the main characters in this round domed mirror.
Scale.
Oof.
That's some like 16K ish he's messing with over here. Way higher res stuff than we have nowadays.
Well, maybe that's why they still have photographs.
Satellites can zoom right in on you. So
that's true.
We just don't have it for us.
I need it right here on my phone. Give me a hard copy. He'd be like, send that to my personal device.
Einhorn is a man.
I like how his hard copy is like a Polaroid.
Yeah, it does. It does look like a Polaroid.
That's the hilarious part.
There's the guitar pick again. About to go rock out.
Van Halen had just started, wasn't Van Halen just starting to get big right there?
Yeah, there were a couple albums in right before 1984, which was a huge for them.
Kevin, what was your thoughts when you first saw the movie when it was released?
Like I said to you earlier, I was kind of expecting sci-fi, Star Warsy.
Right.
I never read the book. Even though I was on the set, I was thinking it was going to be a little bit more, and it was very cerebral and
definitely the story,
like, you know, like a 2001. I was like, wow. And you're leaving the theater, it's like, wow. It was that type of a feeling of that. And I saw it at a press screening. I didn't get to the cast and crew screening. I forget what I was doing, but I went to a press screening and I remember sitting with the press going, and the guy's like, and you knew he's going to write a bad article on the movie. So he didn't get it either.
Vibe. Right.
He didn't get it. It was a fan base that really, because you look at the critic on this movie, and no critic liked it. It was the fan base that really kept it going.
These scenes are very reminiscent of Lower Coruscant. George borrowed a lot from this, I think.
I'm in there somewhere. I remember this scene, but
there's a ton of stuff packed in these.
Yeah,
corridors, so.
I kept working on these street scenes. We had just had a strike, a big actor strike lasted, several months.
Right.
And so everything was just getting back. You were just trying to work whatever you can do. Whatever.
So did they dress you differently for like each day, or did they keep you in a similar
a street person, just
sort of variation?
I would just tell him I wasn't seeing, so you didn't want to wear someone else's outfit.
Well, of course not, especially after they've been
out
on the range.
They don't watch the extra stuff as well as they watch the actors stuff.
Right. Okay. So you're better off just sort of sticking to whatever you've been wearing.
Yeah, it's like
if they don't change.
Yeah, you never know what was. Yeah.
Right.
Why is Harrison interrogating Sala in this? The feds.
Wow. See that strip show
with hockey mask.
They got that Casey Jones from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles look.
A lot of these street scenes and stuff reminds me. I think The Fifth Element drew a lot from this as well.
Yes, absolutely. I don't want to say multipass.
Would those be opium pipes?
Yeah, probably. They are a little active for an opium den, though.
Yeah, right.
So it's probably more like sativa. Something that doesn't bring you all the way down. But you never know. It could be spice for all we know. He is a spice.
They did. Right. They didn't realize that marijuana would be legal.
Right.
He was a spice runner.
2019, you could in LA go down the street and hit MedMen on your way to the Bradbury building.
So I don't know the lore of this movie as well, like the backstories behind like Star Wars and stuff, but is there an explanation for why like animal life is kind of died out or whatever and they're making replicant animals?
All the animals have been extinct. We as man extincted all the animals, killed them all off. So if you can look at it, every animal, every human, main human is a animal. If you look at it. And that's why in that one scene with, well, coming up to it, Joanna has the snake, which was actually her snake.
Yeah.
It was her own snake. And he says, that costs a lot of money. And she says, it's a replicant. If I could afford a real one, do you think I'd be working in this dump?
Uh-huh. Those knockoffs, they don't go for quite as much. There was a large bird that they showed in a scene earlier.
Yeah,
That's true. They did.
Owl?
Yeah,
it was like an
there
owl.
was the owl,
bird,
and
right.
also they had ostriches running down the street.
Oh yeah, that's true. There was 2 ostriches at least in that one
Yeah.
scene.
So I'm wondering if those can't be, if they were real. I don't know.
You'd think they'd be kept better, maybe.
Yeah, I wouldn't be running my
valuable,
ostrich down the street.
Right, in a marketplace like that.
Yeah.
Andrew says, even the future AT&T sucks.
They seem to have good coverage wherever they're at, but who knows what they're using.
There's something, but there's that newspaper again.
I was going to say the amount of physical, tangible things that they deal with is off a bit, but
Right, because you would replace today in real life every single one of those things with your phone.
right. But
Yeah.
even things like that's like a sign on the wall that's like a whiteboard looking thing. It's like, oh, that would be like a tablet with some info on it. You could, plug it in if you needed to update it. So this was a big old snake.
This is Joanna's snake.
Yeah.
She was gonna kiss it.
You wonder if she got a rental on that. In her contract, snake gets its own trailer.
Hmm?
He's got his own coat rack, so at least he's got that going.
You know what? I worked with earthworms, and they had a person from the Humane Society.
Make sure those worms aren't treated for.
You did not hurt the worms.
Nope.
No.
There's roach wranglers. There's all kinds of freaking.
Yeah.
It's like, smash that when we're done. Oh no, I got to take it to another movie.
No, one escaped and went into the earth.
Oh wow.
And the crew had to dig it up to get it, and they couldn't find it. It dug so fast they couldn't find the worm, and the production got a write-up.
Oh.
That they lost, and she got a write-up, and she was really mad about. I mean,
that's not good for a
right.
animal wrangler, I would think.
Yeah, we lost. She lost the worm. It's like it went back home.
I know, it's like he got the opportunity to go where it belongs, and he's like, later.
Born free.
Exactly. That was like an old school salon. Ooh, hello. Salon hair dryer more than a fishbowl.
It was, but it was so fast.
Right.
It went poof, it's done.
But Bryce commenting on it being a fishbowl.
This scene coming up was she didn't do it, a stunt double did it in a bad wig, but in this final, she came back and did it visually, and she did it just like she was. She's in the same shape she was 40 years ago.
Oh,
when
wow.
this one came out,
Wow.
when they did the final cut. And this now is her. It was not that they replaced the stunt double and all the glass later on in this
end of the scene, right? Yeah.
is visual effects. But there's John standing on that thing.
Oh yeah, throwing stuff.
That was John.
See,
That was in the season. Remember those guys with the I was there, but John got on the
You got to be in the right place.
Yeah,
at
he
the right
got that.
time.
He got the on screen.
Right.
He fit in the frame better.
This is one of my favorite fashions from this film is the clear, crystal clear raincoat.
Oh yeah.
The
And also the
vinyl.
raincoats that came down around you. That was a new thing.
Oh, Hare Krishnas are still around.
Hey,
You
we'd
know, I
like
haven't-
to have this flower.
And Spencer's frozen.
No, I'm not. I'm here.
You were a minute.
I'm just watching the movie.
No, you went all digital for a minute.
Well, we did just see a
Spencer a break.
I'm an 8-bit.
There you
Yeah.
go. 8-bit Spencer.
It is something. Star Wars was out and Empire was out, but who would have thought that you'd have lightsaber umbrellas?
Umbrellas. Yeah. That's kind of a funny, weird reference. What I'm confused by is that I don't know if it's a walk signal or whatever, but it's like the same, both of them go at the same time. It's saying don't walk now, but
It's a confusing time.
yeah, it looked like both of them are going off at the same time. And they love to show that Atari logo in the background. How much did Atari pay to be in this movie?
Is
That was
Atari
like-
still around?
Sort of.
There's Atari again, yeah. Atari was huge at this time.
Yeah, they
These
They were
cars
it.
were something else. They spent over $1 million on just the cars.
Oof.
wow.
Everybody move.
Oh,
Adam
this one.
Savage did
She came back and redid this all
Oh,
herself.
okay.
Because in the original, it was a stunt gal in a bad wig.
Yeah, I think I remember that. I think my recollection of this scene was very different from the my original viewings. And I thought there was more glass too for some reason.
Yeah, there was. It just went bam, 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 bam through it.
Right. A lot of glass dropping.
Yeah.
Adam Savage has a really cool replica of that gun. Well, that's some serious, dangerous glass.
Yeah.
None of
Big
that
know,
cards.
man.
At least
Candy
that was,
glass.
yeah, it was
Candy glass still cuts.
yeah. I
You
mean,
know, it's
you
made
can
out
get
of some
stabbed
resin
with
and-
candy glass just as easily
Yeah.
as
It still cuts you.
it should have dropped like safety glass into little tiny
Right.
chunks.
But it still cuts you pretty good.
Right.
Catherine's commenting that she likes the running joke that Deckert's an exceptional Blade Runner, that he's good at it. He's like a washed up alcoholic who can't shoot straight, allows the suspects to bribe him. And it's like, that's the cop film trope. I mean, you've just described Bruce Willis in Die Hard.
With all the collateral damage. That's the thing. It's like Lethal Weapon, Die
Mel
Hard.
Gibson. It's all of it is exactly.
Gonical. Sorry.
Yeah.
More Simpsons references.
You know,
Multitask.
Multipass, yes. Move along. Move along. Move along.
Now it's Men in Black.
Star Wars. Oh yeah,
That
I'm
too.
back there too.
It's a little bit of everything. It's a smorgasbord, as you.
Well,
Yeah,
but
anyway.
see, it's where they came from, not the other way around.
Budweiser.
That's the beauty part.
Yeah,
Schlitz and Budweiser.
they still have Xintao. I think that's what I drank when we went to China at Epcot.
Was Edward James almost there?
Yes, he was wearing his Mayans jacket.
Mayans MC.
That's a good show.
And he just has like the creepiest eyes in this movie.
Yeah, those blue contacts are just not quite right. Like if anybody's a replicant,
You would
that
think.
guy.
Hey,
it's
it's-
Eddie Olmos.
Hey, it's Centauri from Last Starfighter.
Love how the font they use for police is like the hardest thing to read ever.
And that's almost like 8-bit too, right there.
It really is.
Very,
Oh, yeah.
very much like maybe 16-bit, but yeah, it's got that
Yeah,
kind
well,
of
you got,
pixelated
maybe they
feel.
don't want to know what
They want to
number of car they're
disguise it a little bit.
I just want to
Yeah.
hear dun dun dun
But there's some seriously old vehicles in this too.
Yeah, they wanted. I remember saying that to the transpo guys, and they were saying, "Yeah, well, those cars are still around.
They're workhorses, yeah.
You know, a 50, but I wouldn't drive a 1950 Cadillac down in downtown at this time."
Yeah, and this crowd.
In this crowd.
Ugh, that expression. Classic, like, exasperated Ford. Oh, time to get your ass beat.
Yep. Was he that? He was the bad guy in. Was it Beverly Hills Cop or no? It was 48 Hours.
I think I know him as a bad guy from one of the Highlander TV show.
And a lot of bad guys.
Played a lot of bad guys.
Yeah.
There's that smoke again. Used a lot of cookies. The cookie is this little like those smoke,
Little
like
burning,
remember the snakes?
like an incense thing or something.
Yeah, only much more powerful.
Yeah, yeah. What was what's his name again?
Brian James.
Brian James.
Nice shot.
Oh no! Ooh. Yeah, that's a heck of a caliber right there.
Well, that
That's
gun is pretty hefty.
That's a big gun.
Yeah. Wake up, time to die. He's just like shaking with the shot glass.
He's leaving blood in the shot glass.
And another big fuzzy coat.
That hurt. And she's got another coat. Well, it's
like a variation of the same coat, just different color. Like she's got a whole closet full of them or something.
Yeah, it's like she's got the black bear coat, and this is the snow leopard coat. This is why the animals are stink. Her wardrobe.
That's
yeah,
it.
Exactly.
That's
she's
it.
One doing it.
I was just going there. You beat me to it. All because of her wardrobe. No animals are left on the earth. She's gonna go after those. She's gonna go after those ostriches next.
Yeah, she's gonna track them down.
Big feather coat. That would be great.
So Brian was the baddie in 48 Hours.
48 Hours.
Kehoe was the character's name, but he's been in so much stuff. Lots of TV shows: Fall Guy, A-Team, Little House on the Prairie, Chips.
Was that right? Was it Highlander?
Let's see. Highlander, yeah. He was in Corvette Summer.
What?
I forgot he was in Corvette Summer. He was in Mork and Mindy. I don't see Highlander on this list.
Oh, maybe it's another guy.
Yeah, maybe.
He should have had a fuzzy tauntaun instead of a little shot. There you go, Dom. No.
That was Jet Juice, man. It's my go-to. Jet Juice.
There's the 40s look, right there.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Very pin up.
Those puffy shoulders, more than just shoulder pads. They're like.
Or is that 90? Is it 90s?
I don't want to be a pirate.
Yeah, the puffy shirt. And then she's got some serious collar thing going.
Oh.
I think more modern stuff would maybe give a different neckline. Was he looking for like loose teeth or something a second ago? He had a lot of blood coming out of his mouth.
He was looking for loose teeth.
Yeah.
He was. So he brushed him early, so he's got some strong teeth. Didn't lose one.
Uses the right toothpaste.
Little random video.
You should have had a little Crest or Colgate,
They had a little product placement.
Product placement going on.
Aqua Fresh.
Yes,
That
in the,
was big.
in the round tube that you press the top of it, it was almost like a pump. My mother used to love that one.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look at that. You can see it right there.
Oh, there, yep.
Big time. But oh, can you catch it in his too?
See, that's what Mike's saying, is you're catching it in his there.
Right. It sort of looked like there was a little glint of it as well. Big time in her eyes for sure. Spoiler alert.
We haven't had one of those in a while.
This is only a 30-year-old
Terminator
movie, but that's okay. Yeah. Come with her if you want to live.
It's not a tumor. But you're a policeman.
I guess he kind of like the raccoon look because
Yeah,
she's
that
got the
smoky
eyeliner
eye.
there and the smoky eyes.
But
Smoky eyes.
And then
That was
Daryl's got
first
the
time.
thing going on later on.
yeah, Daryl has the thing going all across her face, like from ear to ear.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, sorry.
Gotta put that in there. Come on. But yeah, well, it's weird how many of these like makeup trends became. I mean, the makeup styles became trends.
Now that's a 100-year-old picture because that type of picture is done like turn of the century 1900s.
Right.
With those sepia tones and different.
Yeah. All those type of things. I just cleaned it out when we were cleaning out my mom and dad's house.
Yeah, I have a.
They had a lot. We're very lucky. We had a lot of old photos of things.
I have some old albums with photos like that in them of relatives I have no clue who they are.
Oh, that we had that, and it was like we had the family trying to do a whole detective of trying to figure out which ones were on what side.
Right. How they kind of came together.
Yeah.
So the subtitle said playing mellow tune.
No, and mellow.
Playing a mellow tune.
Mellow.
They
Yeah,
call it
funny how you have
yellow.
different subtitles than I have on HBO Max.
Mm.
She's playing
That's
that
right.
that last part of Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, there's the red again from the side.
You
Yeah.
catch it, and
Yeah.
it's like the eye catch kind of thing, but it's beyond that.
Now is she is Stripes after this?
Stripes was 81,
Oh, so that she had done Stripes right before this.
right before this, yeah.
That is a heck of a jump.
Well, if you figure you got, that became more standard. I mean, we joked about the Adam Sandler syndrome. You do a really crazy, in-depth sci-fi or serious movie, and your next movie is Adam Sandler. I mean, you talk about Misery. I mean, you talk about Titanic with Kathy Bates, and then she does Waterboy. You Sean Astin from Lord of the Rings. He ends up in 51st Dates. So it's kind of like that kind of.
Okay.
They do a lot of up and
You do the
down.
serious movie first, and then you do the comedies next.
Well, she did.
Ace in the 90s.
Stripes was 80. She did Jane Austen in 80, Stripes in 81, and then this in 82. Those were her first three movies. That's like Jane Austen to Stripes to Blade Runner. That's some.
That
And then
shows
she was in.
yeah.
And then she was 2 years later, she was in Dune. Sorry to interrupt there, Kevin. I just had to
No, that's
note
right.
that. It was a very timely kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's interesting how they keep that sort of Asian aesthetic with like her wardrobe with sort of a these scenes always kind of rub a little weird.
Kalima. Kalima.
Venetian blinds, always a good light source.
Yep.
Yeah, you get some very dramatic lighting from any kind of, well, Venetian specifically, even
Yeah.
you know what are the regular, the ones that hang up and down, those you can get some good lighting.
Vertical.
Vertical blinds, there you go.
It's something similar like that in Starman. There's a shot that had like they're in a train or something like that, and there's lights like through like the wood.
Through the box car. Yeah.
Oh, okay, it's sort of like a louver look too, though. They do that sometimes.
How
with,
about
like,
that for another
first
80s
windows.
name drop?
That was cool.
Louver, it has the V in it.
Mm. So what year did Sean Young go insane? She started to get a little wacky after a while. But she's been very prolific in her work.
Oh, Pan Am product placement.
Pan Am.
Good old Pan Am.
Oh, there it is. There's the raccoon.
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
And airbrushed makeup. That's like.
So is she gonna write
Yeah.
Cruella in white on it?
Yeah, that's what she's gonna do on her forehead. She is kind of kooky at the moment, but that. Ooh. So are you in this scene?
Yeah, I'm coming in. Up, gotta have a drink. I'm coming up.
There you go.
Rucker comes in. Because this is when Rucker walks in and he's like, what?
Yeah,
he was working on John there, Kaiser.
Right, and he's watching her do it.
He's suffering from, if you notice that he had a 4-hour makeup job, he ages fast, his character. And he's actually older, he looks older than he really is. And so that aging makeup on him is, he's supposed to be much younger, a genius but he's aging.
Right.
And
they make him look tired for sure.
Yes.
A little older in the like.
Here comes Daddy.
Yeah, raining in the building.
That building looks nothing like that.
Right
normally.
now. Yeah.
I mean, the structural elements, sure, but the look of the building is so very drastically different.
I went down there with my wife and son. We went to that cafeteria down there, and we were just cruising around.
Clifton.
Came across. I wanted to ride the elevator, and I had to be a resident.
Oh, wow.
They were closed, so I didn't get a chance to ride the elevator.
So there was an article I saw yesterday, I think, that they're opening some sort of new bar, something in that like atrium lobby in the Bradbury. So
I
maybe
know there's office buildings in there.
Right. So maybe that'll allow a little more access or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it'd be a cool place to go hang out, I'm sure, to have a drink.
This is a rude surprise to J.F. Sebastian. Hey, I thought she was my girl. Oh, well, I guess I'll leave. See you later.
It's like, I'm hungry.
Did I do something wrong? Do you think Billy Idol got his look from him?
Or vice versa, maybe. He does have that kind of Billy look. Billy still has that look, so. He also kind of has giving off a little Sting vibe there too.
Yeah.
Oh, where's Grogu? There's the eggs.
Oh, there's me. I ran out.
Your batteries died right there.
My battery died. I didn't have an ever ready.
You didn't have a USB plug that you could plug
probably
in the wall? Yeah, back then it was definitely you were doing something cheap brand instead of Everready or Duracell.
Yeah.
That's such a eclectic collection of stuff going on in here.
Yeah, there's one of your ostrich things sitting in the back.
Yeah, there it is.
Yep.
Aha!
They
So
turned the
there it is.
ostrich into a chess piece. But what
There's
piece
Legit
is
ostrich.
the ostrich? That's the thing.
Yeah, those are all odd. They look like
That was like Mickey Mouse back then.
owls.
Yeah, they kind of.
Raccoon.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's a. I remember working with Daryl, and she had taken her makeup off. They were going right to our car. We had parked next to each other. She goes, "Good night, Kevin." I'm like, "Hey." I was like, she goes, "Kevin, it's Daryl." I'm like, "Oh, geez."
Oh. You didn't recognize her without her.
I didn't even recognize her. It was, I was tired. Just like, what an idiot.
Well, I mean, I guess the entire time you see her in this movie, she is crazily made up and has on insane wig.
Yeah, she had the she had the wig on. She takes it off, and I see her, getting in the car after I've gotten out of my stuff. She's gotten out of her stuff, and it's like, just going home, street clothes.
Yep.
It's like on a cast. It's like seeing everybody at a, the rap party of a production. All of a sudden, the crew now is all dressed up, and you have no idea who anybody is because they've been in work clothes, basically construction clothes, the whole time. Now they're all dolled up to the nines, and you're going, "Who are you?" And it's like, worked on a show where the producer bought all the ladies on the rented a dress for all the ladies. It's actually Growing Pains, TV show. He read it. The one producer picked up the tab, and so everybody wore just this beautiful like prom gown or something. Right. And I remember the painter, because she was just came out, and she wasn't. It was like, wow. She was all, and so I think they paid for the hair to be done. So when all the ladies came, everybody looked great.
That's cool.
Yeah. They made sure that
pampering.
Tracy had an outfit. It was Tracy's show. So I came as her date. I was her +1. And they made sure that Tracy had a gown and, that it would be fitted right to her. It was great.
Very cool.
Because everybody just wears, you're just you're going to get the crew's going to get a bunch of junk on them.
Yeah, they come all kind of dressed down if you don't make sure they don't.
Well, sometimes you gotta, what does a grip do? He'd say if it's wet, heavy, or sticky, they move it.
What a job.
Yeah. Pays well. The overtime.
There you go.
You're like 80-hour weeks.
Yeah, long days, I was gonna say.
Well, now we're back to the
crazy. Yeah, he's really starting to look aged at this point.
Oh yeah.
Now, one of the guys was saying about eggs. If there's no chickens, how are there eggs?
Huh. So are they?
Is it just eggs? Is it plant-based?
Right. Something that they make that is egg-like, but doesn't it's not the same genetic makeup.
He had a tough time seeing through these glasses.
Oh my God. His eyes look giant in him, so I would imagine
it
it
looked
like
like
gave
Mr.
a headache.
Magoo. And it was two, to make it look like a huge bed, it was two king-size beds.
Nice. That would be very nice, actually. Giant bed.
It's almost like a California king.
Yeah, well, California kings are only just like a king bed with a little extra length on them, I think. Yeah.
Well, it'd have to be like custom comfort for some of these, you got to think, where does Shaq sleep?
Right, exactly.
Oh yeah.
You got to make something extra huge for him or combine things.
Yeah.
Can't fit it in the house.
Well, it's not like you would put Andre the Giant on a twin.
Right.
Like
Andre the Giant, what the saddest thing about Andre the Giant, he was a lover of opera, and he couldn't fit in the seats. He loved opera and the theater.
Have to give him a whole box with no seats in it.
Exactly. Give him a couch in the
exactly.
in the box. That was a big boy.
Oh yeah.
I saw that picture of the beer can in his hand. How tiny it looked.
Yeah.
Well, didn't he notoriously drink like an entire keg to himself or something, which is like 125 beers?
Yeah, something like that.
So there's your red-eyed owl. See those elevators, the way the building looks, are those elevators like running up at an angle?
You would think they would have to, right?
Do you ever stay at the
Luxor in Vegas?
Yeah, exactly, Luxor.
Yeah, they have those elevators that go up to the tip of the pyramid, because it is a pyramid.
Going from one side to the other of that Luxor, that's a long journey.
I got lost in there trying to find my room one night on a work trip. Needless to say, the next morning I was not ready for the seminars we were sitting through. But yeah,
it's a long
it was an experience for sure.
And he's in all white here. This is the definition of like upper crust is all plush and.
I am good.
Is that like a robe or is that just his jacket?
The white and the black.
Is that like his sitting room jacket or something?
It's a smoking jacket.
Yeah.
This is hef.
Look at those eyes.
If this was made today, he'd be played by Crispin Glover.
He couldn't remember all his lines.
Oh wow.
So they had the lines behind him on boards, but he couldn't read them because of the glasses. Because he has a lot of dialogue in this.
Yeah, and he's talking about like these really kind of technical, it's almost like medical terminology. So I'm betting that.
Yeah, exactly. That was a tough one to remember all that type of terminology. It's not like Jane went to the road and saw the deer cross the stream.
Good night, Bryce.
Would be something though to meet your maker.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, Ridley did give Rutger a lot of leeway on improv. And when on his final scene with Terrell, he blends the two on his own thing, father and fucker, to I want more life, father.
Yeah.
And it's all depending on, like right here.
Yeah, this is freaky. Ugh.
But what's neat is that his
See his eyes.
well, he's not. It's Tracy was on a show of where the crew was talking about the day that they be at saddest day of my life, day of my day is. I was like, what? And so that's his. It's a sad day where he kills his father,
Right.
in the sense that he has to kill his father. So I guess no one's going to turn me back on. I had another scene coming up, and just one of those things. In the final cut, I got cut.
That's too bad.
There was a scene there with unless that Batty comes in with holding me, and here's me up drink. I'm on that.
There you go.
The far end. There we go.
Okay.
Far end. That's Tony Cox from Bad Santa. And
Oh, wow.
Tony Cox is very great. He's great.
And Bobby Porter, who was in like he stunt doubled all sorts of different kids. And he's did like 200 movies.
It's a trip how they
this cable car came in. You could see the cables, and it took us all night to do this.
Interesting how they actually referenced the Bradbury building, call it a Bradbury Apartments.
Well, there's also something really post-apocalyptic going on, that it rains all the time in LA.
Right.
Yeah,
well,
that's very out of the ordinary.
We would love this rain.
It's like Seattle here in this.
We haven't had this rain since like 83, 82, something like that.
You don't get.
Maybe it was in the middle of a El Nino. Oh, there we are. Now let's fight over that. Oh, give me that thing. Those glasses. Give me that thing. I got it. I got it. I got it. Nope. It was much longer than the original. This final cut, they keep cutting all my scenes.
They trim out stuff and put other things.
That took us 4 Fridays to do that. Every Friday I would come in and do that scene for 4 weeks.
What a trip.
They would send Harrison home usually, except for that one scene in that. And here comes my next one. Up, he's walking by with the. I'm a smoking clown. Back to the Bradbury building. It is I'm surprised that they don't use it more often. It's really beautiful building.
It's so like, that structure is amazing. And it's for practical stuff. If you light it right, I mean, obviously they knew what they were doing when they created this version of it. And it has that skylight kind of thing going on. Which gives it, that whole atrium gets lit up really,
Well, the lighting guys I remember they were setting it up, and I heard it over the radio, says, yeah, can someone help me down here? Some street person took my ladder.
Oh, shit.
Because he had crawled up, to get the lighting.
And then somebody took it away from them.
And now they're stuck there, and they're literally stuck there.
At least they had some sort of communication.
Yeah.
Back then, you didn't have a cell phone, so the only thing you're doing.
No, it was all walkies. Everybody's on walkies.
Radios.
You have all the different stations.
Right.
Channel 1, 2, 9 is transpo, 8 is electricians, 7 is
Guys
Yes.
are like manually sitting there with lights through that atrium doing this scene.
Yeah, on a spotlight.
Those weren't those ones you see in the clubs now. That
No,
are like
it's a guy on the spotlight.
Yeah, exactly. He's sitting there doing this thing.
Yeah.
With the handles on the spotlight, trying to.
Remember what you did that time.
Everything was manual. And there was a person doing that job, which was.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to automate it nowadays. They will. But, yeah. Oh, there's.
Boom. Zing. Yeah, that gun is that's bigger than Clint Eastwood's gun. There I am sitting on the thing. Oh, I'm smoking. I was doing mine. Smoking clown. It's actually a picture I have of them walking by. Something to get into the whole fight.
You have like a helmet on, like an old school football helmet?
Yeah, like a football helmet.
Like painted up some weird.
I would do mime. I was a street mime, and so I would do mime all the time for these guys. Do mime,
that's great.
Bits. The gymnast they hired, they had a gymnast do this scene. This one right here.
With all the flips, yeah.
Oh
yeah, all the flips and stuff. But Ridley rehearsed too much, and she was just so tired she couldn't do it. So at lunch they had to get a guy who looked like Daryl to do it.
Damn, she's working.
Gets beat on
this scene right here. He rehearsed this scene so much that the gymnast actually was like too tired to do it. Let's do it again. Let's do it again.
This scene freaked me out when I saw it originally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came out when I was like 13.
Well, I'm betting that had to be hard because not on a sprung floor, just doing it on a regular floor, not a.
Oh, yeah.
They definitely worked themselves differently back then. Stunt people put it all in.
Well, Gary Combs was Gary Combs, a longtime stunt coordinator, was the stunt coordinator on this and also his stunt double on this movie. And the scene outside, they had wet the coat down so much that the coat had so much water in it. He's trying to jump. He could barely, that you have all this weight on it. It's the scene they used too. And he's hanging on the post and the jacket's weighing like 150 pounds because it's just so full of water.
It's like a big wool jacket or something.
Right, exactly.
Soaked it up like a sponge.
Right. But like you said, old school, didn't complain. Just did it.
Got it done. Moved on.
Yeah.
Poor Daryl. Poor Roy.
Poor Roy.
It's interesting.
Patty's going fatty.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you can push that robot over the edge.
The way they light Rutger's eyes here is just like, not even the reds, but just you see the whites of his eyes just through the darkness. They're saying in the chat there's one of the arguments that Deckard is not human is the amount of damage that he takes.
Oh, he can continually get his ass beat, like you were saying. Yeah. Well, didn't they expand on that in 2049?
We shall not speak of said.
Well, there's a it's your typical,
visually 2049 is amazing.
it's your typical good guy getting beat up by the bad guy.
Right. He just takes as much as he gets, right? He's not gonna, he's got to take it because he's got to persevere. This is so insane. Coming through the wall just freaked me out.
Yeah, that was.
It freaked me out. Oh, it's like he's not in the same room with me, but he's still gonna jack me up.
This little piggy went to market.
Yeah.
This little piggy stayed home.
Ooh. Like, Han, you gonna let him give that to you? You can't take it like that. Where's Chewie to save you?
Yeah.
Now he has to go southpaw.
Oh, so he did almost get him.
Oh, he's grazed him
by that much.
And I mean, there's
So
just
we know he's not. We know he's not a stormtrooper.
That's true.
He would have grazed. He wouldn't have grazed him. He would have missed him by
a mile.
Well, he's hit all his targets. If you think about it.
So, what are your thoughts so far, Spencer? Do you remember seeing any of this?
Not at all.
Wow,
this is awesome.
This movie is old. You need to watch it again, and
you
like
need to watch it without us talking about it.
Yes, without.
I need to watch on my big screen.
Experience Vangelis, the Academy Award winning Vangelis.
Vangelis, that's great music.
Here's your Joker moment with Chris's makeup all over his face.
Well, he'd already picked up some when they kissed the first time, and now he's got way more.
Yeah, he's got way. He's got red.
A little bit of Queen Amidala thing going.
I was just about to say that. That's exactly what I was going with that.
I think quite possibly we're reading each other's minds. We do this often.
Like, I'm gonna step on Spencer saying what I want to say right now.
I've just been enjoying this. This is awesome. My dad's always put over this movie, but he's never.
Jonathan, I'm glad you like the movie.
It's got plenty of, I mean, not plenty. It's got a lot of Kevin, which makes it even awesomer.
Yes.
But
look, Venetia blinds again.
Yeah, those are more.
Or what do you want to call it? Boxcar.
Yeah, it's definitely a boxcar kind of cattle car.
I want him to start dancing like Footloose when he's doing that scene.
Yeah, that's it. Yes.
The boxcar, the lights.
Yes.
Oh,
he's also a welder.
A sort of like Fat Dance with Jennifer Beals.
So was this a location or was this on set?
This is all on set.
Yeah. Okay. That's a big ass set. That's got a giant.
Yes, it was. It's way in the back. Way in the back is it. If you ever get on Warner, they have it. What do I want to say? Is it 34? It's way in the back on the. If you look at the studio from Barham, it's on the right, all the way in the back.
Okay. I've been on that lot a few times, but it's, it's like a weird kind of labyrinth most of the time.
Yeah, it is.
It's more fun when they put you in a golf cart and give you the tour.
Oh yeah. Golf carts are much funner than to have to walk from your car to there.
Yeah. Well, I went to Conan there, and I've seen other productions there. And
it's also they now have parking. They used to not have parking. You used to have to park your car wherever you could find it.
Street neighborhood parking.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, even on the lot, you would get on the lot and just have to figure out where you could park. I wasn't big enough to have. I'm not quite. I'm not Harrison Ford where I had my own spot. That hurt.
Yeah.
Oh no! I love that line where he puts his head through the wall and goes, "That hurt." That's it right here.
Mike wants to know: is it true? Did Batty do the scene nude?
Did he do the scene nude?
Did he want to do the scene naked?
I wasn't there.
Here's Johnny.
Yeah.
Dave the Vetterman.
He's not nude. He's got pants on.
I'm from New York.
Hi, David. I'm Grandpa.
Uh-oh, no.
Spencer's reverting to his Simpsons references.
Mike says Roy's got stigmata.
The doves.
Yeah, he basically crucified himself.
Yeah.
Well, not crucified, but
The
Put the
dove
name-
scene is actually him improvising that whole thing.
oh
There's a
wow.
lot of this where Rucker improved a lot of his lines at this part.
So
The
all the
essence
animals.
of the scene was like, this is all, maybe you were saying matte paintings. That was
Oh,
a
yeah.
matte painting.
Yeah.
There's so much going on in those matte paintings. The way they did like
Yeah.
the layering, because they have like the rain in front of it, and there's lighting and stuff going on. For
Yeah.
1982, it seems like it's more advanced in terms of like the matte painting element.
Yeah, it did win the American Cinematography Award.
Unless
which
that was updated.
amazing, but it won the British.
Ah,
Yeah, I think it's
Still can't
hilarious.
believe it didn't win. I don't know what won 1980, but you know, it was just. It is so cinematic,
oh yeah, very. I mean, these shots are
right?
fast.
This. Let's water down that coat again. Let's just spray him down.
So this is he's doing these stunts here, climbing up this building with
Well, that's Gary
giant
Cohn
jacket.
with,
Yeah,
with
jacket
a
full of water,
100-pound jacket on.
just holding everything that falls on it.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can see how saturated it looks.
yeah.
Even
Sure,
the
it's
hair
not
is-
wet enough.
He didn't have to even fight it.
Get
but,
the fire hose.
it's funny how they do that's like combination of sprinkler system, fire hose for the onset rain.
The sprinklers were 150 feet in the air,
Yeah, and they shoot up.
and there were these whirlybirds.
Okay.
There was like a whirlybird is what they would do on this one, and they would spray it out, and
Right.
then the rain would come down and bounce up and get your knee from my thigh down all wet because the bounce of the rain.
Right. Even if
You
you're
know,
under
for
an
you
umbrella.
guys, it would be your knee down. But
Mhm.
that's what I mean. We were wet.
Right.
I wish
you
we
like
had
to get
this
it from
much
above
rain.
and below.
Yeah. Remember Jerry Marin, the middle munchkin of the last munchkin to die? He was doing some work with me on Street Extra. He goes, "This sucks. You can have this job. I'm not coming back to this one." But he goes, "The sprinkler works just great. The water it's rain. It gets me wet. Comes down from the top and gets my bottom all wet."
Yeah, just the extra elements in this are just amazing. The fans in this scene just out of sync slightly, and
Just the layers.
yeah.
Yeah.
So many layers.
All the little things really add up.
So why does he save him at the end? Question. Anybody?
Need to be back for a sequel.
Comments? Come on. It's very.
I mean, does he recognize that he's his brother?
Yeah, brethren of his kind. Or is it
He ain't
something
heavy?
else? He's my brother. He does a better jumping job, I have to say.
Yeah. Well, he's Replicant.
Yeah, but what else is going on here? There's so much. He would
Yes.
have fallen so long ago off of that thing.
Yes. But he's an action hero.
Yeah,
You know,
they
this
got
was before the whole Marvel action heroes landing. This is when they really, truly hurt.
This is when you'd think
PTSD.
Harrison would break his ankle, not on the Millennium Falcon,
Right.
when he was 900 years old.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
He respects life. And that's all he wanted was more life.
oh yeah,
The
he
whole
was asking
thing is
Dad
that
for more life.
TDK, when's the last time you had a TDK?
Ugh.
Wow.
I remember getting those TDK tapes.
Yep.
Quality.
They're better than Max.
Maxell?
Maxell's.
Yeah, Maxell's. TDK is much better.
Mhm.
Kodak had a good one too.
Yeah.
Him and his little birdie buddy.
That was his idea.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just like, get me a dove.
Well, this is what it sounds like.
Dove.
It's a magic trick.
Dove for Mr. Howard, please. Dove for Mr. Howard.
Get that animal wrangler in here.
And birds are supposed to be extinct.
Right.
Well, you notice in the sequence before, all animals are extinct except pigeons survive. There's like 40 bazillion.
And like that and roaches, you know.
Those
Pigeons,
rats in the
roaches.
scene when they were in his workshop.
Yeah.
There
There's a lot of rats in there. So rats
It's all the
and-
vermin type.
and ostriches.
I guess that's Australia's version of a vermin.
Yes, the dove does represent the soul. You're right.
I think they have
There you go, Mike.
switches too. Mike's got all
It's
the
very
insight.
deep.
Yes. He's our variation of Cookopedia, but in a different sense.
Mhm.
And where is Ms. Cook for our extra insights on this?
She's in there somewhere.
Here.
She commented earlier.
She has.
Some of these scenes are just the way they draw them out. And you're not playing around with that rain though. It's a lot.
Oh, that's right. That's what Tears in the Rain. That was, I think Rucker, did he write that one or was that him writing it themselves? Was that
Improv.
written? That was improv.
Hmm.
And then there's Eddie.
There he is.
Got to go back to work.
Gonna have a Zoot Suit riot right now.
Mhm.
I love how they went like everything is low profile for police lights and emergency vehicles, but they have like overdone like high profile lights on that car.
Yeah.
But back then it was sort of the transition out of that big bubble to the more kind of stealthy low profile stuff anyway. So
I like the tile work on the buildings.
yeah,
Mhm.
that stuff is insane. The depth
You
to that,
don't see that anymore.
and that, I mean, probably would cost a
I
fortune.
need my bathroom redone.
To
To have that
like
redone.
that. There you go.
Yeah.
In the style of Blade Runner, please. Thank you very much. Throw in some CRT monitors and a few androids.
Yeah, the TVs are much, except for the zoom in, our TVs are much better,
Yeah, thankfully.
what they have.
A lot bigger for sure.
Well, that's the thing is they're not. They're showing how no one in this future is obsessed with their technology and just all about it. They're actually living their lives.
Yeah, they're
Technology
more,
is secondary.
we like the noodle bar much better,
Hmm.
than our phones.
They like to get out in the rain and not stay inside
Right.
in the drippy building.
I've never seen that many people out in the rain in LA.
Yeah. If it's raining in LA, they're not.
There's no, I mean, they drive crazy. They didn't show that part.
It's not crazy. It's more
driving.
stupid when it rains. It's like they lose their lack or their ability to drive, kind of more or less.
Right.
Not that they had it to begin with. Uh-oh, is that a new jacket? It seems puffier.
Yeah. Well, the other one's so wet, it still hasn't dried out.
Well, now
It's his jacket from Hoth.
Yeah.
He's got a
Oh, it's a
Akbar
sweater.
sweater.
He's wearing a
He's got
cardigan.
Yeah, he's got one of those
70s. He's
Pullover?
sweaters on. Uh-oh.
It's a pullover.
Yep.
Oh, who's been here?
Mm-hmm.
Who's been here?
The unicorn.
Yeah.
Oh,
A flash of the unicorn earlier.
you crazy guy, you. He was supposed to kill her.
Hmm.
That's what that was.
Snap. Part 2. Wait, no.
There it is.
Too late for that. Anyways, thumbs up on that one.
I liked it. So, Notman's asking here. So, what's the opinion? Is Rachel a replicant with no what do they call it? Incept date? Not incept date. That's when they come in. But death date. Does she just have no span? Is Deckard the same?
Is any of that answered in 2049?
Yeah, both aren't they both alive?
Yeah.
So she has no end date.
Incredible.
So that would be 30
Well,
years.
if you're gonna be able to do that, I would do that if that was my kid. You know,
Yeah.
Right.
Jango Fett did that for Boba Fett.
Mm-hmm.
At least that made sure his life was going to be normal in a sense, lifespan, as opposed to accelerated. Anyways, that was amazing.
Well, it was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
I do have to say that I haven't seen it in a while. I do have to say it's amazing of all the different cuts and all the different that I go on an audition, and as soon as the director does see it and they say you were in Blade Runner, and
Right.
it is a neat thing to say, yeah, I was. And then you get to say little things like that. And it's like, then you want to stop and go, do you want more stories? You can hire me.
There you
Give me some scotch.
Insight. You know that guy Ridley? I could talk about him a little bit.
Yeah, there's some neat little things that set life on Blade Runner.
Wow.
Little stories of that, because there's a lot of downtime. So it's and then they know your first line, and you say that was my first line. And it is neat because a lot of times people's first line was some low budget movie that went nowhere,
Right.
and no one has heard of.
Right. Yours is
Mine
classic.
just happens to be, I say it to somebody and they know the movie, or they know where it was,
Or they've heard it for sure, one way or the other.
right.
Even if they don't know where it came from.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it's from a fairy tale, but
Right. Well, yeah,
to
yeah.
market to buy it that big.
But on screen in
Right.
a sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
Well, that was absolutely fantastic. First and foremost,
I hope
thank you
everybody
to our
enjoyed
guests.
it.
Kevin, thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Thank
Amazing.
you.
And just a couple quick notes. Remember, on Tuesday, we start the Speaker Series Season 2 with Tim Donaldson. Very excited about that.
It's gonna be cool.
And a whole bunch of other stuff. So keep track of what's going on with the Virtual Cantina Network. This weekend is the Jedi Archives. So that should be a good episode. And on Monday, Frank's celebrating autographs. Kevin, once again, thank you very much for coming out tonight, and hope you again when we do Jedi in a couple weeks.
Yes. keep me posted. Make sure that schedules change. Never
Absolutely.
know. But let me know, and if I am free, I'd love to do it again.
Awesome. Jeff, anything?
Just it was great having the insight from Kevin as always. Always great to hear your stories. Glad to spend some time with you guys. It's always a lot of fun.
Hope to see everybody in person very soon.
Oh yes, definitely.
I'll be up at the I guess I'll be at Bakersfield Comic-Con on the 20th, the weekend before Thanksgiving. So if anybody's in that area, come on by.
Excellent.
Cool.
Dave.
I'll just echo what everybody else said. Loved watching this movie. Loved it, seeing it even more, listening to Kevin and hearing the behind the stories or behind the scenes stories that I haven't heard before. It's amazing. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we'll see you next week. We'll see you for our events. Be good. Stay safe. May the force be with you.
Great.